and welcome to Neat and Not by the Video Thief. Welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea.
God, that was loud. Blimey.
It is, I don't know, a day at a time.
You just wrote it down.
Tuesday the 1st of February 2022.
Yes.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Catherine.
And we are coming to you from Port Chalmers in New Zealand. This is a Flosstube video where we talk about cross stitch and all sorts of other crafts and a lot of unrelated matters.
I was just listening to a podcaster and she was talking about how she rambles. She says we're rambling. That's what we are. These are the best sorts of podcasts.
Yes,
the
we're definitely
ones.
ramblers and tangenters.
And so we forgot to say that. Kia ora.
Oh yeah, hi, kia ora.
Welcome from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Oh.
Practice. Maybe the first thing we should talk about is actually the dollies. So many comments.
Yes, the dollies, and they're unfortunate.
So many comments. Well, I was thinking about what we were going to say about it. So first of all, I'm so glad that people had such a laugh. We all need a laugh at the moment. The world's broken.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We're glad that you were able to get some enjoyment
Laughter
out
and
of that.
joy. And I should say that I had planned to make very pretty pubes, like I was going to embroider swirls. And then I thought, sometimes they're not pretty. Sometimes they have a life of their own.
Yep.
So I was very glad to do that sort of style.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was so lovely to get so many comments from people. Especially we had a couple of comments from people that don't comment normally. Because I know that
Catherine's dog has just come for a pet.
Star knows what she can get away with. So people that don't necessarily commented, which was really lovely. You know, we do the podcast for free. It is a bit of a faff. And comments are just such a nice thing.
They really do encourage us, and we're really enjoy getting them.
Really appreciated. And everybody was positive about it. I did worry because of course everybody has different tolerances. Mine, I have a very high tolerance for these things. And did you read the comment where they were like, Victoria, don't feel self-conscious about snorting. You go for it.
Yeah.
And we got a comment from your mum as well, which I thought was super lovely.
My mum had it on when we've been painting her good lounge recently, and she had it on when she was up a ladder, and I think she almost fell off the ladder. That's great.
That would have been a great story to tell ACC. ACC is like the national insurance thing for accidents, so you don't have to pay for treatment if you've had an accident in New Zealand. Yeah. And there's also the National Health Service, which is also free, but you get seen quicker if it's an accident. Anyway, so now we said that. Okay, so life chat.
Life.
We're all ginger because it's very hot. It's at least 23 degrees in Dunedin.
Yeah, we've got the door open next to us, so you might get a bit of, it's not even street noise.
Cars in the distance.
Yeah.
The so-called motorways that way.
Yeah.
It's a one lane each way. Not really a motorway. Anyway.
We did have the door shut, but it's too hot, so you just have to suffer through.
And we've been doing stuff. We've been doing prowess.
Yeah.
So I had a haircut.
It looks great.
I look a bit like a mushroom, but that's it's like when I got married, I also looked like this, although I hadn't discovered gel, so it was a bit poofier. It's a bit poofy today, but it was because I had a shower and it took me 20 minutes to untangle my hair. Oh. So I came out the shower and I thought that is enough.
Yeah.
So I cut it all off.
And of course, great.
You cut and then it's like, I'm much happier. And I'm not spending like, I don't know, we buy these eco conditioners. I don't shampoo, I just condition. And they're not the cheapest. And then I use half a bottle with my hair. So I was like, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're looking at retirement in the eye. I am not spending $4 on washing my hair. I'm super cheap. Anyway, I'm quite pleased.
Oh, excellent.
So yes, and I don't go to the hairdresser, cut my own hair. Of course, I don't go to the hairdresser because that's indulgence. Okay, yeah, so that.
Are we doing you first, or are we going to do turnabout?
Turnabout.
All right, so as I suggested before, I have been helping Mum paint, so I have spent a lot of time recently up the on top of the scaffolding painting ceilings, which has been great fun. My mum has a beautiful historic home, and there's got very intricate cornices and roses in the middle of the ceilings where the light supposedly hangs down. But they're very detailed, and you have to do it with a small brush and take your time. So poor old mum, she's been living in it was a bit of a construction zone for about 2 weeks.
Do you listen to an audiobook or
I
a
have
podcast?
music on. I have music on. Yeah.
Music and chats.
Yeah, because mum's been painting the windows and stuff while I do the ceilings. So.
Yeah. Nice. And it's
Yeah.
convivial and it makes it go faster.
It does.
Theoretically.
But hopefully we'll get that finished this weekend, so that'll be good.
Great. Very good. And then that'll be the summer done.
Pretty much.
Great. Well, I've been doing, well, not really DIY, but today we had the sleep outs delivered for my girls in our new house. So that was exciting. I posted a little video on Instagram of the massive truck that carried them in. It was quite impressive and nerve-wracking at the end. I think there was about 3 millimeters gap between an electricity pole and the truck. And it's not like the electricity pole mattered to me because we're not on the grid.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to be that neighbour.
Yeah, the neighbours would not have been impressed. So,
Yeah.
so that was exciting. I kind of rushed there in my lunch hour and we got that. Because I had to be there to say, oh, a little bit like this, a little bit like that, just so that it would sight them nicely. And we had neighbours come over. One neighbour came over and said, oh, we love it. It looks great. Well done. So that was a relief because we are going to be the weird neighbours. Yeah, I've had a couple of messages from people that don't normally message me saying, oh, it looks great. So that's exciting.
It does look great.
But I kind of feel like I need to go to sleep early because I've done a lot.
Yeah.
Mental exercise. So, but yeah, another big tick off my list.
So what else has happened in the last 2 weeks? So I'm back at work, which possibly I was for the last video. Probably was.
Which is grand.
Being back at work is great.
It's good to have jobs, isn't it?
It's great to have jobs. Oh yeah, in this economy, it's great to have a job.
Yeah.
You guys may or may not be aware that New Zealand has, we've gone up an alert level with the COVID situation in New Zealand. So we've now we've got a traffic light
Red.
system, so we're at red light. So
Yeah.
whatever, I think New Zealand is pretty much just bracing for Omicron.
You said it right this time. You
I
said
did?
it right. Yes.
Oh, it sounded
Yes.
wrong.
No, you said it correct.
to flood through. So hopefully everyone is staying well and safe. And
Yeah, and I got my booster, so we're both
we
boosted.
boosted up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that felt good. And I wasn't, you were a little bit exhausted, weren't you?
The day after I had my booster, I felt truly terrible, and then the day after that, I was just tired, and then I'm fine. So
I was absolutely fine. I didn't even have an excuse to do nothing.
Oh,
Yeah. Although I did go to your house as well.
you did come to my
Yeah,
house.
I had energy. Yeah,
Some
it was
sewing.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready here. We're getting ready to sell this house. So I've gone like a little something going through the entire house. And so my house now has maybe 2/3 less stuff than usual. It's all in the new house. I don't have a craft room anymore, and most of my craft possessions are away. So if I forget something, like what was I was messaging, I don't know Victoria, where would I have put my embroidery needles? Which would have been my safe place. I looked everywhere, and then I thought, they're in the little house.
Oh,
Probably. I will find them in about 2 months' time. But that was okay. Most projects have one, so I was able to swap.
I've got some spare needles if you want to grab any off me tonight.
But it is weird not having my craft room. Although it's also very weird to be able to walk into the room, which was a bedroom. You can see the floor, there is a bed. It's magical. So, yeah. Tidying up is not my big forte. Yes. And I've got a bad back.
What did you do to hurt your back? Do you know, or is it just one of those things that you've pulled it at some stage?
So, because our little house was a building site, we now have a gardener that comes and cuts the grass. So we had cleared it all up from all the wood that was left behind. So the treated wood we've put under the deck or given away, but the untreated wood we've cut for firewood. So now the guy came and cut the grass, and of course he found more wood. So there was another little pile. So what happened was, I finally got a gardener, and he's a goodie.
Excellent.
So I'm very happy. He's been a couple of times, but the first time he came, it was just so nice to be with someone gardening. So I gardened about 3 hours. Then we went to the little house, and then I cut the wood, and it was all fine. And then I bent down to pick up a pile of wood, and then I thought, I shouldn't have done that. So it's not bad, but just by about 3, I'm sore.
Yeah.
Age as well. But anyway, I've started to exercise, so hopefully it will all help. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's the...
I was going to say, this is tangent. I was watching a knitting podcast, so I was just reading what you had written, and I was just going to say something about Bridgerton is coming soon.
Woohoo!
Apparently in the UK, they have an immersive cinema experience of the first Bridgerton. I mean, like, I don't think I want that.
Thank you.
In public. No.
Yeah.
And also, what do they mean by immersive? Because I remember going to an immersive cinema experience, and it was an earthquake simulation.
They blow wind in your hair. And
And then there was
shake
like
them.
water sprays, and the seats shake. So I'm thinking,
How does that work?
will a handsome man come up to me? So anyway, that was funny. But yeah, that's coming soon, isn't it?
I was just going to ask you, do you know the date?
I don't know the date. I'm not sure I want to watch it. I'm on the fence.
You're not wanting to watch the second season?
I'm not sure. I've read the books. I think they peaked too soon. The Duke, like there's just not going to be another Duke.
He was lovely. He's got a lovely behind.
So anyway, I mean, no doubt I will.
Because I'd say you watched the first season like 4 times.
Oh, I watched the first season like 35 times. Oh, speaking of films, so people that are not in New Zealand, what was that film that we were talking about at dinner? The one filmed in Dunedin.
Oh, the Royal something.
Oh, we're great.
Yeah, you can really tell we've done our homework. Have you got Netflix on your phone?
No, I don't have Netflix on my phone.
It's on my phone, but we're recording on it.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, Netflix has a film that was half filmed in Dunedin, pretending to be New York. And then what am I even telling you? The inside of Ulverston House is supposed to be the castle, and the outside of the outside of Larnac Castle is supposed to be the castle in Villanova, something like that. Anyway, it's just a young person's like Cinderella type story.
I don't think it's great. The feedback that I've heard.
It's just a young person's film.
Yeah.
We just watched it to kind of recognise bits and bobs.
Yeah. I have been watching a new TV show. If you like crime and murders and...
And lots of people do.
Yeah, you've probably already watched it, but I've only just been introduced to a program called The Sinner on Netflix. It has got... is it Bill Pullman? The president from Independence Day.
All these references that mean nothing to me.
Anyway, really enjoying that so far. I'm
So
halfway through season 2 now. Yeah, but I think there's like 5 or 6 seasons, so I think it's been out for a
That's
while.
fantastic. That's a lot of stitching time.
I know, it's great. 10 episodes a season, and it's great.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I kind of need a good series. You know the good life, end of life.
Oh,
Afterlife.
Afterlife. What? Yeah,
The
Ricky
third
Gervais
season.
one.
Yeah, the third season appeared, and I watched it in a day.
Oh, I'm not in the headspace to watch it yet.
No spoilers from my part, but it's not as funny. It's a lot heavier than the first 2 series, I felt.
Mum watched it and she said she thought it looked like the last season just from the way.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
it
well,
is.
here we go.
Yeah, they said it was.
Ah.
Bill Pullman.
Yeah, it is Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
He's lovely. I've always liked him. He was also in... Was he in The American President, or was that someone else? I think that was someone else.
Who knows?
I've got my actors all mixed up.
We know stuff about stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so, okay.
No, he was... No, that's a different one again. That's Kim. Okay, we're going to move on. We're like, oh my...
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on to that?
Yeah, sure.
So we have a huge thank you to send out. We received some Stitchy Mail.
With happy mail from a lovely viewer from Luxembourg. Someone that lives in Luxembourg, but is originally from Portugal. Called Margarida.
It was very exciting. 2 large parcels arrived in the mail.
And she was super lovely and super generous. And I have to say, I did feel a little bit validated because we had been messaging, and she said that she wanted to send us something, because some of the things that I talk about what home means and living away from home and stuff really means something to her. And I do have to say I worry sometimes, because sometimes my beloved husband says things like, God, you're intense. I'm like, I miss my homeland. Yeah, so it's just really lovely that, you know, that what we say is not just rubbish. I mean, come here for the like film reviews. But things do mean stuff to someone. So we are going to show you.
We'll show you what was in the parcels.
What
It
was
was
in the
amazing.
parcels, because they were just lovely, and they were just like
super generous.
exactly the sort of thing that we would love. We have eaten some of the parcel.
Yeah, there
so
was
I'm gonna
some
show you that.
lovely biscuits that went very quickly, especially once Catherine told me that, yes, Catherine's, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Sorry,
got it.
that makes no sense. Don't worry, we'll move on.
I'll tell the story. So I got the parcel on the same night as quiz night. So of course I took it to quiz night because I was too giddy.
Yeah.
And I gave, we divvied up a few things that were obvious to be divvied up. And I gave Victoria some biscuits. They were actually honey wafers.
Delicious.
And Victoria wasn't sure if it was for us to share when we saw each other again.
So I had been
or for
saving
her.
them.
They were for her. I'd already started my packet.
Yeah. So as soon as Catherine was like, oh, no, I got a packet too, I'm like, all right, that's it. And I was ripped into them. That was great.
And I'm not really a fan of honey, and I don't really eat honey for a New Zealander. That's a bit of a shocker. But they were a weird mixture of, because I know intellectually that honey's sweet, but they had a savoury sort of feel to them, I thought.
No, mine were just deliciously sweet.
Maybe it was in my head. I ate them all. Martin ate one circle and I ate the rest, which I think is about right. So anyway, let's show.
Shall we show?
And I was, it was the best sort of parcel because it was 2 parcels. And I love post. Should we show one thing each? So I was super democratic. So when I opened this, I was like, Victoria, this is mine.
Yeah, by the time Catherine turned up to quiz night, she had divvied up and taken out what she was keeping. She had a quiet seat in her mind.
No, what had happened was, one thing was labelled for Victoria, and I think that was the flossers, although they had kind of come apart a little bit. But my label wasn't attached to anything, so I was like...
She was like, the rest of it's mine.
You must have meant this for me. Which is a fantastic book. Margarida, how do you send this? I would not have sent this to anybody. I'd be like, I am keeping it. But it's called Stitch from the Soul, Slave Quilts from the Antebellum South. I think now they would say quilts from enslaved people. But anyway, it's of its time. Let's get these glasses on. It's from the University of North Carolina Press. I mean, this is so adorable and sweet, and I just felt so valued and appreciated. Margarida, you totally, look at that beautiful quilt. So it's got a little bit of history, and then quite a few examples. I mean, clever people are just clever, aren't they? Some of these quilts are just... so anyway, I just thought, nah, Victoria doesn't want this.
Does it have a publication date? You were saying it is of its time, and I was thinking 80s, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
90s.
thinking actually it could be 91 or something like that. I mean, I think our vocabulary changes as we learn and listen to people.
1990.
Oh, 2002.
Ooh,
So that's still 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So written by Gladys Marie Fry. So
It's a
I'm very
lovely,
excited
lovely
about
book.
this. Very, very excited about this. It's very beautiful. I feel very touched that you were willing to part with this, Margarida. Yeah, I'm not passing this on. Anyway, very beautiful. So I was super touched. I'm sure Victoria didn't want it. So that was one.
Well, since we've already mentioned, I will show these amazing, look at this, DMC flossers, beautiful,
with the
numbers on them. So I haven't put them in my stash yet because I was going to show you, but they've got a little bit. Look at these.
Very lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful colours.
And actually one of them you said, oh, the label looks a bit different. So it might be that in different countries, the labels are a little bit different.
Which I'm sure.
So that's kind of interesting.
whole big handful of them, and they're just lovely, and I cannot wait to put them on bobbins and put them in the right places in my stash.
Yeah, funny.
Oh,
And then I got these, which I had said that they're getting hard to find in Dunedin. I love the label. So these are just like wooden pegs.
Yeah.
And I said to Victoria, because I am...
I wasn't sure if you were going to tell this, but...
perimenopause, I have no secrets. And I was like, oh, it's so cute that she sent these pegs, but I wonder why. And Victoria said...
Well, Catherine, you see, you wind your flossers on wooden pegs, and you talk about how they're getting hard to find.
God, I'm such an idiot. I was like, oh yeah. So anyway, as you can see, I've already cracked it open.
Yeah.
I've started using them because I had run out. So this is lovely. So I'm going to so I'm super sentimental, so I'm keeping the label.
The label's really cute.
It is so cute. More or less. So anyway, that was cute. This was clearly for me. So I kept this as well.
And, show this.
Yep, show that.
A huge piece of...
Enormous piece.
Enormous. So that is an eighth of it. It's huge.
So we thought it was that you've got 2 fat quarters and I got 2 fat quarters.
Pretty much. So we cut it in half. Catherine very
I did
kindly
a
washed
thread.
and ironed it.
I washed it and ironed it and then I pulled a thread.
And it is...
amazing.
We're not quite sure what count it is or anything, but it is wonderful mystery fabric, which will be used lovingly. In fact, Catherine has started here.
I've started a project.
I think that is to see later.
Yes, I'll show you later. Following on from the theme of being sentimental.
Yep.
And then I know these were for me because Victoria wasn't there. Because we talked about these. So I think Margarida, you had said that you had gone to Peru on holiday and you had bought these plait like adornments.
I wish.
So people plait their hair and use these to kind of thicken the hair, and then you have these little... Anyway, she bought them in Peru, I believe. And so now I have them to add to my textile collection.
Gorgeous.
So I was very touched. I mean, I could share, but I'm not going to.
See, I was thinking, I wish I still had my long hair. So I cut my hair a few years ago, but it was sort of waist length at one stage.
It was.
It would have been cool to put in and do it for the video.
And then I would have shared.
Why not just...
So this is lovely. This is going to the collection.
We got a couple of lovely... I think they're Christmas themed, but I'm going to do them and not have them just out of Christmas. I think they're beautiful.
Well, they could also be kind of winter themed.
Winter themed. So this one is One Stagger Leaping, and it's...
Oh, is that a thing? One stagger leaping. Is that a thing?
No, it's, it's 5 lords of... No, it's 5 forgotten rings. 7 lords of leaping. 6... Whatever,
So not that then.
Not that one. But because it says One Stagger Leaping, that is the song that it is...
Yeah.
It brings up. It's called Lovely. I won't show you that.
Who's it by?
Carriage House Samplings.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that company.
I don't know. I was thinking it was a date. But I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to do it and put it on my wall.
Nice.
But I think I will change the threads up. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, but maybe you could
It's a
use it
big
with
jump.
the DMCs, and then that would be like it would tie in.
That's what I was thinking.
Will she? No, she won't.
We all know I say these things and then don't do it.
I think you've changed one thing.
Yeah, it's only because I couldn't get the thread in New Zealand.
I know.
And this is blue Spruce.
Yeah, Spruce. Yeah.
Which is, I think that's really cute. I quite like these.
Ooh.
I keep thinking they're going to make lovely pin cushions, but I think what I'm going to end up with is a collection of really huge pin cushions.
But you should be able to tell the size. It's because Victoria started a couple of pin cushions and they're turning out to be massive.
Yeah, like
So that's bizarre. And your
smaller
counts
than
are
a
high.
sofa cushion.
Yes. Your count is high. It's not
Yeah.
like you use like low counts.
No, and one of them, the flamingo one, I'm doing, that door's going to slam. The flamingo one, I am doing the called for count, and it's still huge, so I don't know, maybe I misread the instructions somewhere.
You did not. You did not, lady. What else? There was also... Oh, God. Margarida, if I've made mistakes, Just tell me.
Won't change anything.
There was a card nearby that said my name. Anyway, I think... So there's this little bag that says vovô. I think vovô means grandma in Portuguese. I could be completely wrong. But I also think that this is from Retrosaria Rosa Pomar range of yarns. And I am the knitter in this room. So I'm keeping the bag. This is a democracy. Oh God, I'm terrible. I'm gonna get hate mail. Anyway, and there was also fabric, which I thought would be on the back of a quilt or like cut out, because I'm thinking of doing another English paper piecing project for my sins. Anyway, if Victoria wants this, she can have it. It's just live in my house for a little bit. But I sound like a cow.
What I'll do is that I will bring, after Catherine has turned it into another amazing quilt, I'll say, oh, Catherine, I really wanted that fabric. I think I'll just have the whole quilt just because that's fair.
And I'm not a softie, so I'll be like, nah. So that's lovely.
And then there were the wee books that we're sharing.
Yeah, we're sharing the books. So these are actually, there are two that are Advent and Christmas. And, you know, I'm not a fan. But...
Of Christmas, of books, she's a big fan.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. But, you know, you can pick out elements. And this is the idea with this book. There's lots of little elements that you can pick out. But I already found...
Don't show the pattern.
Oh. Okay.
She has got, if she was me, she would have lots and lots of little post-it tags, flags out of the book, because she was showing me all the ones she's going to incorporate into a stitch that she's decided to work on.
Yeah, so I've already found images on these 3 books that I like, and I'm going to use them as a repeat pattern, because I'm sentimental, and I want to kind of remember that this was a gift from someone very generous, and I'm putting all that into one project that I will tell you about. But this is going to be like something that Victoria and I share, and like it'll live in her house for whenever she wants, and vice versa. And you know, I've got other friends that cross stitch. We'll probably lend them out as well, because you know, it's like a little lending library. So that was fabulous. We do like books. And the pièce de résistance, which again, God, I sound like a terrible human.
There was almost a fight over this, but I graciously...
Was there?
No, it wasn't. I'm just adding some drama.
Oh, I'm just terrible. I said, look, Victoria, there was a lovely little poster and I really want it.
If you hadn't have wanted it, I would have put it in a frame. It's beautiful.
Oh, let's take a good copy then.
Yeah, right. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take a good copy. This is so lovely because, anyway, and it's just so lovely to get a letter.
It is.
So thank you. But also, not only, but also, the painting is called, bad Portuguese alert, Mama o non mama, olio su tela. See, this is like Italian in my head. But anyway, I think it means loves me or loves me not. He loves me not. And she's kind of pulling like sprigs of something.
I just liked it because she had a scythe.
Oh yeah, scythes are great. But also, she has like a shawl, like a neckerchief, and it's just beautiful.
It's stunning.
Yes, this is the life we want. Yeah. So we thought it was very beautiful, so we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I think that was it. I hope I haven't forgotten something. I could have.
So a huge thank you. There was
Thank
that
you.
was incredibly generous.
It was incredible. Oh, and the best thing is, I think most things were secondhand, which is just the best.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, clearly,
Is it upcycling?
you are understanding us. No, upcycling is when you do
It's
something
when you do
with
something
it,
with it, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's from, Margarida was telling me that in Luxembourg there is a flea market for sewing peopleness. It's like a seamstress flea market. Sounds amazing. I'm really glad I don't live there though, because Martin would be like, where are we going to live? There's no room in the house.
Maybe we should do a wee road trip.
To Luxembourg?
I'm up for it.
Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, thank you so much. You are very lovely and we really appreciate it. And I will show my project in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now you can talk. I'm just going to
Oh, look at that. We're half an hour in and let's... Did you finish anything?
Oh my lord. No, I don't think I finished.
No.
Nothing.
Sorry, this isn't the channel you tune into to finish projects.
Is it really half an hour? Oh, Lord.
Okay, so whips.
Vips, you start.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. So I have worked on 4 projects this fortnight. I find that that's how I'm best to work. I pick 4 out on the Tuesday night after we've filmed and then work on them however I fancy. So I have been working on Barbara Anna's Alley Quartet and I have finished a cat and it's really cute. And I learned something. So apparently I was looking... Can I show this for a sec?
Yes.
I was looking at Catherine's book here, which you've all seen before. And I was reading the instructions. And apparently, with variegated threads, it is recommended that you do a whole stitch before you don't... So ordinarily when you do cross stitch, you go right along and then you come back, right? Do the whole stitch before you move on.
That's not true. Different people have different techniques they prefer.
Recommended. That's why I said recommended.
No, but you said normally. You said normally you go all the way until... Not everybody.
Normally I
Yeah.
go all the way along and then come all the way back. So that is what I did for the hat here. I did the one complete stitch and then move on, and I love the effect. And now I'm thinking I need to redo Autumn Quaker. No, I'm not. I was doing that for that face. Oh, but you learn something every day.
But you know, all these... See, I know now you're getting overexcited because it was a rule. But you know, you do you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
No.
Whatever. And some people will be seeking that, the more foggy sort of
Yes,
effect
so
by
it
just
works.
going ahead and
I
coming
haven't
back.
got it here, but you know, several videos back, I was working on Miss Bingley's library where I've gone, it's got a variegated thread on the roof, and I've gone right along, and then I've come back, and I quite like that look because it does, to me, it looks like sort of like a slate. It's really motley coloured,
Yeah.
old slate sort of roof, but I know it's not to everyone's cup of tea. But I'm quite pleased with that.
Yeah, and also there will be like really variegated threads. I'll show you a thread that I'm using soon, and that's very variegated. And there'll be others that are just very kind of mottled.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yep. That was my my little learning.
nice. Very
You know what?
good.
I'm pretty pleased with that cat. I showed Clementine because some of you may remember I started it with my niece. She quite liked it. She thought it was really cool, and she said, I don't know where my kit is. And I was like, well, that was a waste of an afternoon putting that together.
It's not a waste.
No, she'll come back to it. I'm sure it's in her mum's stash.
It doesn't matter if she'll either come back to it or she'll just remember some of the dexterity and find her own craft later.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I am going to talk about my Sentimental Project.
Oh, this
Because
is...
it's just here. Okay, so you will remember that months ago, Carole had sent me a whole bag full of flossers. And one of those flossers was a variegated, and it had...
It was a big skein.
Yeah, there were 4 skeins, which I didn't share with Victoria. It's a theme here. Because Victoria said she wouldn't use it, but she liked it. So when I finish this project, if there's a skein left over, Victoria can have it.
Yeah.
But it had Arabic. Remember, I was trying to find out what it said and if anybody knew what brand it was. Anyway, I mean, I'm saying Arabic. It could have been Punjabi. It just had the cursive sort of writing that is not Roman writing. Anyway, so, do you know, I use pegs for my floss.
They're getting hard to find.
God. So anyway, I put it in the bobbin. That's all one
That's one of the 4 skeins.
one of the 4 skeins, and I love it. And so this is quite very. So it goes green, orange, dark green.
Yeah, it's sort of a 10 centimetre, 12 centimetre variegation, isn't it?
Yeah. So because I liked those intense colours, I am doing a full cross, moving on. It is a bit of a mesh, I have to say. But anyway, so this is the fabric that Margarida sent us, and I cut it in half. I washed it. I ironed it. I pulled the thread. I cut
She
it
did
carefully.
all the hard work, and she got an iron out to iron it. She sent me a photo for proof.
I did. I ironed in my lunch hour, and I was like, Victoria, I am amazing. So anyway, so you know I like these sorts of, well no, this is the wrong shirt, but you know those blousey shirts that I have that are just like a poofy sleeve, very plain? I'm making myself one of those blouses with this fabric because I quite like it. I think it's cotton and I quite liked it. So I'm making it in like old-fashioned folk style. So it's going to be a big rectangle for the body and 2 rectangles for the sleeves.
So T-shape sort of.
And like you put a little square for the underarm as well. So it's just folk construction. So I measured, and so you'll see that I've got 2 bands of embroidery, and that's the top of each sleeve. So that's one sleeve. It will be about there, and I'll do a little gather. So I'm going to do about this much embroidery. It's just big bands of embroidery, and that's where I'm incorporating some of those stars from one of the books.
Yeah, from the Christmas box.
Yeah, so and I'm doing 2 sleeves at a time because I'm not following a pattern. I'm doing my own thing. I want to make sure that they're mirrored, and I'm really, really happy with how it looks.
It looks
so
gorgeous.
This is
And the colours are really vibrant.
Yeah, so this is a nod to tradition whilst doing my own thing, of course. What did your mum say?
So I was telling Mum that I couldn't come over on Sunday to paint because like Catherine wanted me to give her a hand with something. Catherine hadn't quite explained what she wanted, but she just said that there was something in the book that she didn't get. And so I told Mum that I was going to Catherine's house to help her follow instructions.
Which was funny. Let's avoid instructions.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really happy. I'm a little bit concerned about the color fastness of this. And then I thought, when I went to Guatemala, there is a group, there is a community that makes their huipiles and their woven things, and they use threads that are non-fast. And then they wash them so that the color runs. And I've got a chair that I had recovered in that fabric. And I was like, oh, I'll say that. So I'm not bothered. So anyway, I'm super happy with this. Now here, you may be able to see, do you know how I've got one stitch? You can see something like a little shadow behind it. It's because I was traveling, the thread was traveling at the back. And I'm not bothered, but I know it can be better. So for this side, instead of having the thread travel behind, I made the thread travel up, across, and then down for that single stitch. Which, can I just say, someone give me a medal.
Yeah, that's true commitment.
That's not Catherine behaviour, is it?
No.
Look.
Yeah.
See? Look at the difference. I don't know. I really want people to be impressed with me. Sneaky Catherine. Okay, can you see how there's a travelling line here? And that shows on the other side. Here, there is no travelling line in between the dots because I made them travel to the main band.
Nice.
I am amazing. I know.
And so modest.
Yeah, modesty comes with the territory. I've just realised I want to show something because I'm going to forget. I've already forgotten and I don't want to forget again. So this is like an interruption to the cross-stitch program. Do you mind?
Oh.
Okay, so I can put this one away in there. So you know how I said I wanted to embroider more? That was one of my New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. And today is the 1st of Feb. Yeah. And I haven't embroidered at all. I've done cross-stitch, which in English, you don't call embroidery, you call it cross-stitch. In Spanish, we do call it embroidery.
Yeah. Although when people ask what sort of crafts I do, I often say embroidery because it sounds way more fancier than cross-stitch.
See, it's interesting, isn't it, how language influences things. So anyway, when I say I want to do more embroidery, I mean freestyle. So A, do a podcast because it makes you do more stuff. But B, it's like, at least one embroidery a month, right? And now we're in February. So 10 minutes before Victoria arrived, Victoria came for dinner so that we could we could do plotting. I'm going to show my tummy now, which is not good.
Do you want...
I
put the modesty screen up.
There is...
There we go.
Can you see? This is... No, I don't want to bump the table, but anyway, I really want you to be impressed with my embroidery. Okay, it's negative space. It's just right stitch. So it's just a circle, and there's a negative space that lets you know it's a circle. I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I love it. You're so elegant.
All class.
Well, that was... Do you know, it's one of those situations where to show you my embroidery, I might have broken a leg. And with hindsight, it'd be like, well, that wasn't worth it.
Yeah, no, we should just save that for next one.
Anyway, yes, I am amazing. I've done an embroidery. Okay.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you for indulging me, Victoria.
You're very welcome.
Okay, what's your next whip?
So my next one is, I had my 2017 Linen and Threads stitch along, which you all know is the one I'm doing for Mum. So Mum's one.
Mum's.
My mum.
Yeah.
And I have finished March. It's only taken me a year.
You know Nithya from Daybreak Stitchery, because she's so late with a yearly stitch along, she's actually going to catch up. So
She'll get me ready for
so in March she will do March last year, and eventually she'll finish this
finish
year.
up. Excellent.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so you can do that.
This is just gorgeous. Every
It
time I
is.
do another band, I love it more.
It is beautiful.
So this fortnight I have done the bottom band here, and that is March finished. And that's 1/1 on a mystery fabric.
Which I think looks
It's
very much
small.
like the new fabric that we got.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So grand. That is looking
So
very
that's looking
beautiful.
great.
So your mum must be pleased.
She was very pleased when I said I'd been working on it.
Great. Very
She
good.
says, you know, as soon as you finish, she's got a spot for it on the wall. So
A painted spot. It's all fresh paint.
no, different room. That's going to go in the kitchen.
Are you going to paint the kitchen?
No, I did that last Christmas.
Exactly. It's a painted room.
Okay, painted room. Yeah.
It's not 20, because like before that it had been 20 years. So
That is true.
it's all
Yeah.
freshly painted. Right, okay, my next thing. I kind of went a little bit over the top this fortnight. Doing far too many projects. I think I worked on 8 projects. Okay, I'm very pleased with this. So this is something that I got from a book. It's called the Mary Hill Sampler, and it says Upside Down Numbers, a secret wartime code or the work of her sister. And it's from the collection of Museum of Fine Arts, Boston, Massachusetts. Anyway, I was much amused doing this. And I love, there are things missing. So this is RSTU, gap, half a W, X. Love it. And I was looking at the pattern carefully, which I'm not going to show you, of course. But some of the letters are half in one color and half in the other.
Nice.
So it was designed for me.
Yeah.
I am very happy. And this is the fabric that Victoria gave me,
Yeah, that was the offcut from a another Barbara one I was doing.
which I love. I very love. Very happy with this. And I'm just using, it's called Antarctic Ice, and it's 40 count. Can I just say this is not 40 count? This has obviously been dyed and it has shrunk because it's like impossible to see count. Yes. And I'm using any old color from my gifted collection. So I'm very happy doing that.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking that we need to go a bit faster.
All right,
So
yeah,
many
we-
projects.
my other one, Brenda Key's Red House Sampler. I'm trying to show that without reflection. Anyway, you guys will be familiar with this one by now. I have been working on the border, and I had hoped to have all of the outlines of the, I don't know what they are, sort of clamshell flower type things, but I am 4 short. That's right, once that's done, will be half the stitch finished.
Woo woo.
I love this one too.
It is beautiful. You have a good eye for picking patterns. For sure.
Yeah. No, super pleased with that. It's coming along nicely.
And this will be like chat embroidery, won't it? The fill.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Mystery. Where do these come from?
Did they fall out?
Who knows?
They, I think, came out of your... Oh, no, you've got those
Whatever.
there.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Can I go?
Yep.
All right. So I don't know if I'd start. Yeah, I had started this. So I'm working on one of my projects from the Willing Hands book, which is an inspirations book by Betsy Morgan, and it is a lovely book. I kind of want to do everything that they have here. But the Etui that I am working on is called the Elizabethan Casket Etui. It is very pretty. Very pretty, and I am going to do all the bits and bobs.
It's the one on the front cover.
Yes, you know, you read the whole book and it's like, no, I'm doing the front one. So I'm doing that one. And you get this grid for what markings you need to do with gold thread. Gold thread bought in Peru, because that's what you do. So you don't even have to leave your house to start a project 4 years later. It's great. But in this grid, they actually didn't give you the measurements for the diagonals. So this is the bit that, you know, I had mum brain and I was just tired. I was just like, I can't think, Victoria, I don't understand. So Victoria tried to help me, but I wasn't listening because it was the wrong moment. So I had to go back to her house, and then she explained it again. I was like, oh yeah, now I'm paying attention to you. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll do that. Which literally was, find another page with that
with
actual
the border
pattern
on it
and count them. And it was like, it was great. It was very straightforward. So I've done that, but I haven't actually finished. So I have done quite a bit. It is faffy. It's faffy progress, but
here's the bag.
So it is. Did you see my bags? Very tidy. Oh, you can't really. You can't. Look at this linen.
I will attest to the fact that there are numerous little gold boxes on there.
Yeah, so all the grids are there apart from 4 that were missing. And once I finish those 4 grids, I can start embroidering. So I'm quite excited about that.
Excellent. Moving on. The final one I worked on this fortnight was a peacock, a unicorn, a badger. I love this one.
I love this one as well.
Scarlet letter. It is full coverage. I'm doing it on 40 count linen. And I finished the badger.
Which is great.
And in its burrow under the tree. And I'm just loving the total coverage. It's just, oh, it's so satisfying. It's slow going, but it is very satisfying. So there he is. There's my badger.
I was actually showing it to someone at
It doesn't
work
look like a badger.
that's thinking that they want to do tapestry, and I was, look at this.
This one you could easily do as a tapestry, a beautiful cushion cover.
Yeah, it is very beautiful. But do we need another hobby?
Yes. No.
Great, very good.
So those were my 4 whips for the last fortnight.
I'll just talk for the next half an hour then.
Yeah.
God, I didn't stop. Okay, so miracle of miracles. I actually did work on my own sampler that I'm doing based on New Zealand stuff. So I opened it thinking that I had finished the alphabet, and I had not. So I had to do like W, X, Y, Z, which I did. That didn't take that long. And then I was obsessed. And I've started on my little Pukehiki library.
So cute.
Which I love so much. And you probably can't tell, but I've used 2 different colours for the walls. So one is a white and one is a cream. It's very subtle, but it makes all the difference. I think it makes it look, it kind of brings it to life a little bit.
So it is a weatherboard building, isn't it?
Yes, so it's wooden.
Yeah.
And I counted the door, and I think I can just about get Pukehiki library in 1/1 backstitch.
Nice.
Yes, so I'm quite excited about that. And look, I'm such a fan of sash windows. Sash windows, so good. I am very happy. And it's just so lovely to kind of, it was funny because I have a photo of the building, and I was saying to Martin, what do you think? What do you think? And he was like, oh, I think it's thinner. It's thinner and taller. So I was looking at the photo and I was going, well, this is not a faithful rendition. This is cross stitch. But actually, it was pretty close. Because when he saw the photo, he was like, oh, yeah, it does look like that. So it was very good. And I kind of feel really good that I've made progress, because it was kind of languishing a little bit. But it was languishing because
You were still working it out.
Yeah, I had to be in the right space to kind of figure out what to do. But now it's very, you don't have to concentrate. You can just do lots of stitching. I'm at that stage. Oh, and also, I had said that I was going to put a cacabeak tree here, going right over. But you spend 12 million hours working on something, and ideas come into your head. And I had bought this book in Geraldine Op Shop. No, it was Geraldine Museum actually. Ferns in Peel Forest. And I thought, well, New Zealand is very famous for its silver fern. So I'm going to find a silver fern. And I'm going to cross stitch a giant silver fern on there. I think that will be even better.
Nice.
I'm excited. In a low level kind of crafty way. So that's very good. And then I also made loads of progress on my, his eye is on the Sparrow, which I have changed the saying to be Susanna Bacca's song. And I have, the progress I've made is I've finished these 2 vases and I have done the roofs.
The roofs look amazing.
And the roof's just the best thing ever. There was a little bit of jiggery-pokery going on. But I think they kind of look like vernacular architecture from Africa, I thought. These sorts of, the shape of the roofs. Anyway, I love it so much. I'm so happy. And it was so funny because the reason I had got stuck with this is because I didn't know what color to do the roof. And then I actually went back and looked at the pattern and the roof color was the same as the edge of the walls. So that was straightforward.
Easy.
Yeah. Because I'm not changing, well, I am changing most of the colors. There'll be no beige here. But I'm super happy with this project. I love it. Love it. So that's that. And then, oh yeah, that was, oh, I should say stuff about stuff, shouldn't I? So that was by, His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. And I'm just doing my own thing with my own threads. Can you remember what this fabric was?
It's fabric.
I think this is what we got from the embroiderer.
I think it's a 32 count. I think it is raw linen.
There you go. Raw linen.
It's probably not, but that sounded a professional.
Yeah. And I'm using those flossers that I was given as well. So that's going very well. I'm very pleased. Then, and you know, I am continuing with my life. It's not like I'm shirking my responsibilities. No. But I managed to make progress. Remember the wonky tree that I thought was great because it would torture Victoria?
She finished it.
Yes. So this is from And a Forest Grew by
Rosewood Manor.
Rosewood Manor and is designed by Karen Kluber, which is lovely. I am not going to have this religious verse. I'm going to have something in Spanish. So if anybody has any recommendations, a poem or something. Anyway, I have finished the tree.
Sorry. The picture on the back has the turkey scissors. I love the turkey scissors.
Show me, show me.
It's like a turkey. It was
No,
not
no,
a
that's a
turkey, a
cockerel.
rooster.
Yeah, yeah.
A farm bird.
A bird of some description. Is this to add to your collection of 1,200 scissors that you, yeah.
I do like scissors.
The tree is
The
finished.
tree looks great.
So that's my first tree. Again, I'm guessing, I'm just going with anything. Any colour that pleases me at that time. Some of it, the screen's not really capturing, so but it's very lovely. I love it. Love it. I'm thinking when I pick it up, I want to work on something until I finish that motif, and then I'll move on.
Yeah.
That is my plan. Otherwise, I'll get a little bit lost, I think, and that'll be annoying. So that. Then I worked on my Friends and Family by Linen and Threads. Sal. That was the 2021. And I have made.
You're making great progress through this.
Which one is it?
Is it the corner one?
Yes, it was this corner one. And the.
And that one, yeah.
And the flower vase. Yeah. So this corner one, and I needed to finish this vase. So
Had you started that one?
actually, I'm being a little confused.
I think that's the
Right?
one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I think I had a bit done, but not a lot.
Because I think last time you mentioned you wanted to get all the border ones done.
Yeah, so I'm working, instead of following the order, I'm now on 11. So I went from 6 to 11 because I want to do this and then go across, and then I can fill in the rest. So I'm very happy with this. And this is 35 count Edinburgh colour flax. And we got this from the Embroiderer, which is a New Zealand shop. And I'm very happy with it. It's very beautiful. And the orange is a variegated DMC, which is number 106. Someone messaged me on Instagram saying 106 is my favorite color. I was like, we need to be friends. It's a good orange.
It's a good orange.
Yay for orange lovers. So that, and then, not only but also,
Geez, you've done a lot.
I know. And I'm sure I had a date with my hubby as well. Like, there's been like engagement in life.
Yeah.
And I've been working hard on the house. Yeah, I got as far as there.
Yeah, you went
with
from the crown to there,
words.
didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm super happy with it. I love this
Loving
so
the
much.
blue, it's gorgeous.
I love the blue. I can't show you the pattern because I can show you the front. So this is a pattern that is from an original Mexican sampler. And this was a reproduction that Yany Stitcher did of this 19th century, so 18 something sampler. And I'm going with the original design, so the words kind of run into each other, which I love. And my idea is that I'll stick with it. When I pick it up next, I'll make sure I do a whole line. Just, you know, to kind of feel like I'm making progress. But I love the little symbols. They're the best thing. And there's a lot of white space. There's a lot of negative space in this. I actually don't think it requires a lot of time to complete. Apart from the fact that there's like little curves and stuff, and that takes time. So my phone just pinged and Martin's away, and I'm wondering, should I check it in case he said
Help.
something? Yeah.
Help.
I'm just gonna have a quick look. Oh, no. It's my other baby. Last thing. Okay, there is a culprit for this situation here. So I'm minding my own business, catching up on people's Flosstube, and Kim from Cataloguing My Stitches finally, I'm joking, I know you have a life, finally posts. So I'm like, yay! Anyway, lovely Flosstube. If you don't watch her, go back and watch her. I love her floss. She's probably my favorite. Anybody that has content other than cross stitch as well as the cross stitch, I love, basically. Anyway, she was taunting me personally. Like, clearly that the whole Flosstube was about taunting me with her blimming Snowflower Diaries completed January thing. I took it very personally. It looked so pretty. And it is the prettiest one. I think January is the prettiest one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, I know what you're doing. Well, I can finish mine too. No, don't get overexcited. Did you see her face? No, I'd already finished January. But no, I made progress on February. And of course, at this point, I should point out that I've still got the patterns. I found them digitally because I had got rid of the paper patterns that I'd photocopied, printed. So I'm just doing my own thing. I'm picking bits and bobs from wherever. And then I'm not really following the instructions. I'm like, a flower that looks remotely like that. That's what I'll do. So that's what I did for February.
Cute.
So in the pattern, I think this was March, and it was a purple flower. I've made it a yellow flower, and then...
It was in a completely different place.
Yeah. I'm feral.
Looking good though.
Yeah, they still need a center. But yeah. I mean, you can't change who you are. I cannot follow the instructions. I feel like someone's trying to take my life force away. I'm like, fight it. So I'm really happy. I felt very inspired by your work, Kim. So I was only joking earlier. This is why I watch Flosstubes, to be inspired by people. So yeah, I actually made progress on this.
Excellent.
And again, using any old colour, mostly DMC, but in a way that pleases me. Oh,
Is that your hot water cylinder making that noise?
no, it's a fridge.
Huh?
Because it's one of those fridges where you can dispense water. Only we haven't connected to the water because we couldn't be bothered 11 years ago.
Right.
Back before global warming and you didn't need ice and water. Kidding. But sometimes it sounds like it's like trying to move something.
Yeah.
Because it still has all the cables and so whatnot.
Excellent. So so I think that's the end of the cross stitch, and I don't think you've got other crafts tonight.
I do have other crafts, but they're not right here with me, so I'm not getting up. But I have made progress on the quilt. So I think by today's Tuesday, by Friday evening, I'll be ready to bind Christina's quilt. So that's great.
Excellent.
And I was working on a secret knitting project for a friend. And then I showed said friend by accident the secret situation. So it's no longer a secret, but also it's not right here, it's over there in my bedroom.
Oh.
I'm not bringing it.
Who's it for?
No, I'm not saying, like I'm not confirming,
Okay.
but it was a friend that was going to get it by post. So I'm a little bit annoyed at myself. But it's the first time I'm making up, of course, because, you know, I don't want to follow pattern. But I actually thought I might write this pattern up for knitting, just because I really fancy the idea of learning how to write a proper pattern and like uploading it onto Ravelry and seeing what happens.
Nice.
I mean, I say this.
Earn your millions or give it away for free?
I haven't decided. I know that someone designed a pattern and they had charged 50 cents for it. I also know that people sometimes will do a pattern and then go, if you buy it, all the money that is earned from that will go to this particular charity, which I think is more my thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I need to pull my finger out and write the pattern.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just, you know, it's nice to have little challenges and learn how to do new things.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So yeah, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, what a doofus. Stop showing people things that have like names of who's getting it. It's daft. But yeah, long weekend.
Woohoo! Long, yes, it's Waitangi Day this week. So, or next week, next Monday. So that is the day that New Zealand celebrates, seems the wrong word, acknowledges?
Marks in some way,
the occasion when the Treaty of Waitangi was signed, which is the treaty between the Europeans and the Maori population, and that's all I can remember from fifth form history.
So it's a treaty that was signed between the Crown, i.e. the British Crown, and the Maori chiefs. So New Zealand, Aotearoa is a Maori country. They are the indigenous people of New Zealand. And at one point, the Crown decided it'd be a really good idea to make them sign a contract as to what was going to happen to the country and all this sort of thing, which it's complicated.
Yeah, as they always are when it's...
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not an always situation, because I think we're the only country where this happened, the only colonized country where a treaty was signed in this manner, which means that we can now have a Waitangi tribunal where Maori tribes can go and make a complaint and basically, is sue the word? But basically go and make a complaint to the government and say, you're not doing this right, you're not following the treaty, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And there's lots of problems. So for example, the treaty in Maori said different things from the treaty in English.
Yeah, the translation's not quite...
I think on purpose. But
well,
anyway.
I'm sure.
But I have heard that because of this such a unique circumstance, it means that legally Maori have a leg to stand on as far as like getting compensation, as it were, from the government, which is really great. But it's not really a happy day, particularly. We do have a day off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's... just recently it was Australia Day, which is very, very... what's the word? Like, lots of Australians are not happy about Australia Day.
Controversial.
Yeah, it's controversial. So, colonization's never pretty. But Aboriginal Australians suffer a lot more, I think. It's not a competition who suffered more, but there's lots of redress that have to happen. But anyway, we're talking about New Zealand. So
Yeah. So the long or the short of that is that we've got a 3-day weekend.
I have a 4-day weekend because I don't work on Fridays.
I was supposed to have a 4-day weekend because I was signed up for multiple tasks. They had the Masters games on in Dunedin, but because we have moved up in alert levels, that was cancelled, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I was going to do a wonderful sporting activity called the jigsaw race, and that went for 9 hours or something like that, and you get a 1,000-piece puzzle, and the first to finish wins, and I would have won. I have no knowledge of why I would have won. Well, no.
You just have a gut feeling.
I have a gut feeling I would have won. I would have got a medal.
But you were doing other things that are maybe a bit more sport.
I was doing a 10k and some other bits and bobs.
10k walk and
other stuff. It was for fun. Another friend and I had signed up for it. So, unfortunately, that's been canned.
Yeah, lots of things have had to be cancelled. We went to quiz night because we thought this might be the last time we can do quiz night for a few weeks, months. So
yeah, so I think when we went to quiz night, we were still hovering around the 20 or 30 new cases per day.
Yeah.
Now we're at 100 and something, and they're saying it's doubles every 3 days. So I think that's probably it for my personal choice for public outings for a while, I think.
Yeah, and I'm working from home because I'm allowed. My boss is quite flexible, and I feel more comfortable at home. Just why expose yourself if you don't have to? And also, people, someone tried to shake my hand today. Lovely. I mean, New Zealanders are handshakers. That was a bit of a shocker when I came here first from England. Because you'd think that England would be handshaky, but it's not.
Are you not? So what do you do?
Hi.
Wow.
Yeah,
you are so stone cold, people.
It was just such a shocker to me. Like, it felt so old-fashioned that people would shake your hand. But then I'm totally used to it now. But I now have my little line that says, I'm sorry, I'm not shaking hands in the pandemic. I'm surprised people are still offering to shake your hand. So anyway. Yeah. I'm just choosing to stay home. I follow too many accounts of people that have had a bad time on Instagram. Why are you laughing?
I thought you were going to say I follow too many accounts, so I just watch videos all day. So it's not as funny as I thought it was going to be.
No. I follow a lot of... my Instagram account is a lot of crafters and people with chronic illnesses, disabled people, people from various minorities. Like, I use Instagram as a tool to educate myself as well as to have fun and grow my creative side. And, disabled and chronically ill people are very, very concerned. They're very marginalized because everybody is like, only people with comorbidities will die. Well, that's not good enough.
No.
And also, I would hate to get long COVID. That would not be fun. Anyway, let's bring the mood down.
Yeah. Okay, so look, happier topic. What's your plan for the next 2 weeks? What's going to be your core focus?
What?
Yeah, I know.
On my 12 projects.
Yeah.
I'm just going to carry on with more. I'm slightly obsessed with this blouse idea that I have, so I want to carry on with that. I really would like to finish something. It's not going to happen in miles. And of course, I've started like big projects. But I really like this idea of working across. Like, over 14 days working on various things. Of course, all my wool, all my fabric is in a different town now. Because my new house is in a different town, half an hour away. So I've got all my cross stitch, I've got my quilting, and I've got a little bit of knitting.
Yeah.
So I'll focus on that.
Nice.
What about you?
So I want to finish my Barbara Anna Christmas Mystery Stitch Along because I have signed up for another one that starts tomorrow.
Which one's this?
It's a new one. It's just called Mystery Stitch Along or Will You Stitch With Me or something like that.
Okay.
Great, so I signed up for that.
Nice. You like her?
I do.
A stitch along.
I do like a stitch along.
You've discovered that.
Yeah, I like the short ones too because then I manage to keep up with them. Except for I just don't finish them.
You will finish them though, won't you?
I will.
If things get tricky, we can when we get together for coffee, like we do sometimes at the weekend, that could be your focus thing, couldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? I'll pick 4 more out of the hat and go from there.
Nice. We should give Stitch Witches a shout out.
Oh yes, their website went live.
Their website went live today.
Yeah. I went on and had a look, and
oh, did you find my thread? Because that would be your focus, right?
I went to go to Stitch Wizards.
Oh yes,
goodness.
bless you.
I went to go to Stitch Witches yesterday.
No, you went yesterday.
I went, yeah. I did the 15-minute walk from my office, and I was like, oh, see if they got that thread there for Catherine. She'll just love it if I surprise it with her. Got all the way to the block. So I got like 100 steps, not even 100, like 50 steps away, and I was like, hang on, it's Monday. I don't think they're open on a Monday.
Nah.
Not open on a Monday.
Break your heart.
It is. And then I went to the supermarket after work and spent all my money, so I have to wait till next payday to go and pick up the pattern I was going to pick up.
Yeah, and also New Zealand's a big sort of shop online sort of country, because we have lots of towns that are kind of, we don't have that many big cities. I'm going to get into trouble for saying that, but you know, lots of people live rurally, so we rely on websites and stuff to get the things that we want sometimes.
Yeah, so it's great to see that up and going.
Yeah.
I think there's still a couple of photos missing, but so far it seemed easy to navigate and find what you want, and I was very impressed.
Great. And I want to recommend a podcast as well, which the young people will appreciate, because it's a podcast as it was meant to be, i.e.
It's audible.
Audio. Yeah, it's just audio. So this is called the Off-Kilter Quilt. Is it the Off-Kilter Quilter? I think it might be the Off-Kilter Quilter. And I love her so much. She has 249 episodes.
Whoa.
So if you need something, so this is the one that I was saying that is rambly.
Yeah.
She just goes off at tangents. I love it so much. I might actually start from the beginning again. She's I can't see the name of the oh, there it is. Oh, see, super profesh. On her about bit, a weekly podcast about all things quilty. It's not weekly. It's been like 9 months since she podcast. But you know, life happened to all of us around the world. Anyway, she's actually a writer, an author. She's just all the best bits about being best. Great, funny, clever. Like today she was recommending a book of her essays and talking quiltiness. And so anyway, I get it from Stitcher, is my podcast catcher. And it's just there. The Off-Kilter Quilter.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I hope you go and have a listen. That'll keep you company. It's good fun.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
I think so. I need to do Spanish now.
Yeah. So we hope you guys have a great next 2 weeks, and that you stay safe, and that if you are in New Zealand, you stay cool, and if you are in where it's winter, you stay hot and warm.
We are progressing in the seasons, so we'll be flipped soon.
We will indeed.
So yeah, look after yourselves. If you are in a country that is reopening and life appears to be getting a bit more normal, look after yourselves still.
Yeah.
If you're needing company from people, I hope you get to have company from people. If you want a bit of time to yourself, I hope you get to have a bit of time to yourself.
And hope you'll get some stitching done.
Yeah. All right. So you can connect with us on Instagram if you want to say hi.
Yep.
If not,
I'm rubbish on Instagram, so if you send me a message and I don't respond, send a message to Catherine and she tells me
oh,
it's there.
no. Okay. All right. So I already live a life where my delightful husband has a cell phone. In fact, he has 2 because he has one for work. And I'm not going to say often, but regularly enough to be annoyed, get messages from his family saying, can you ask Mark to check his phone? I've had 2 messages like that for Victoria in the last 6 months. I was like, Victoria, we have to have a word.
But I have now learned where the messages are, so hopefully I'll be better at that. And whether the number is when you've got new ones.
And I'm actually not married to you, so I don't get nearly as annoyed. It's slow progress. So anyway, everybody, write to Victoria. And I do like it when people message me on InstaWebs, because I am the youth and I'm always connected. So anyway, have a lovely fortnight. We'll see you soon.
Ka kite.
Ka kite.